option is the right to buy. Put option is the right to sell. Okay. So if one party has an option, the other party will have an obligation. Both the parties cannot have an option, right? So let us look into one of the examples. So this is a celebrated Black-Scholes option pricing model which we learned. So all of you might be remembering the formula, how we plugged in the numbers, got the call option. We compared with the ICICI direct numbers, it was almost close, right? So even exchanges follow the same formula to find out the call option price. Okay, so let us take an example called as butterfly spread. Okay, what people can do if they come up with this type of numbers quoted in the market. So we all learned last class, we went to ICICI Direct, we saw different strike prices, different premiums. Same expiry date, but you will have different set of strike prices and premium. So let's say you will see something like this. Okay, a strike price and a premium quoted like this. What we can do? Okay, so this is an extension of the idea of vertical spreads. We already learned that options reduces the risk by restricting the loss to the premium paid. The loss cannot exceed premium. Now we want to further reduce the loss. Go one step ahead and reduce further from that. Like if at all my maximum loss happens, it should be much lesser than premium. What we can do is buy and sell. That is how you can reduce the loss. Suppose the current spot rate of NSD to USD, New Zealand dollars to US dollars is 0.60. The call options with the same expiry date are available. So let's say this is how the strike price is 0.58, 0.62, 0.66, 0.07, 0.03, 0.01 premium you need to pay. So what did you notice here in the strike price?
Steadily increasing.
See, the strike prices are there in such a way that exactly from 0.62 to 0.58 the gap is 0.04. 0.62 to 0.66 there is 0.04. So that is 0.62 is like a middle one. There is one above, one below in the same proportion. Right. So if you find this type of numbers, then we can get into a butterfly spread. Butterfly, why? Because there are two wings. Now 0.62 is like a butterfly and 0.58 and 0.66 is a butterfly, and the graph which we draw will also look like a butterfly. Okay. So a butterfly spread is bought by buying two calls with the middle strike price of 0.62. So what are they suggesting? Buy two calls, not just one, not one lot, two lots. Buy two lots of 0.62 and writing one call each with strike prices on either side. So sell 1.58, sell 1.66. Okay. Buy 2.62s, sell 1.58, sell 1.66. Okay. So let us take an example. Okay, so what are the things available with us now? 0.58, one strike price available. And what is the premium for that?
0.07.
0.07. Okay. Then 0.62. There is one more strike price. 0.03 is the premium. Then
0.66.
0.66.
0.01.
0.01 is the premium. So what they are suggesting is buy this. How many? 2. Okay. Sell 1. Sell 1. Okay. So buying a call option, selling a call option is what we are trying to do here. Okay. So buy call means it gives the right to buy at 0.62. Right? Buy call means it gives the right to buy at 0.62, not the obligation to buy at 0.62. Now sell call means what?
Sell.
You have sold call. That means you have given someone else a right to buy.
Yes.
And you have kept the obligation to
Sell.
sell. Okay. Got it? So what are you trying to do? I am buying 2 call options. That means I have a right to buy at 0.62, not an obligation to buy at 0.62. And I am selling one at 0.58 and one at 0.66. The buyers will get a right to buy 0.58. He has a right to buy. He has a right to buy at 0.66. You have an obligation to sell at 0.58 and 0.66. Any doubts till now? Any questions? Right? So, if I buy call, I have to pay premium. How much premium I have to pay? It is equals to minus 0.03 into 2, because I have to buy 2 options. So, I have to pay premium of minus 0.06 outflow. That's why I am writing it as minus. Okay. Then sell call, this is at what price? This is 0.62. Okay. This is 0.58. Sell call. If I sell call, what I will get? I will get premium. Right? So plus 0.07. Then 0.66. Sell call. It will give me 0.01. Okay. Got it? So I am getting 0.07 and 0.01 premium, but I am paying 0.06 as premium. So what is my net premium? My net premium is 0.02. I hope it's clear. Any questions till now? See, there are 3 strike prices: 0.58, 0.62, 0.66. So we identified that it is in an order of exact gap compared to 0.62 and 0.58, 0.04 gap, and 0.66 and 0.62, 0.04 gap. Whenever we find, we do this type of butterfly spread. What do you mean by butterfly spread? Buy 2 call options in the middle one and sell one on the either side. Okay. So if I buy, I get a right. If I sell, I will be having an obligation. So if I buy, I have to pay premium. If I sell, I will get premium. Hope everything is fine, right? Okay. So now, what was the current price when we entered into an agreement? The current spot price is 0.60. So this 0.60 can go to any level. It can come down, it can go up. So in all these cases, let us evaluate whatever risk we have taken, how it will perform. Okay. So 0.60 is what is the current trend. So I'll start from 0.45, worst come worst. Okay. Or 0.46. 0.47. Spot price at the time of expiry. Okay. I'll increase it by 2.
Sorry, one doubt I have.
Tell me.
Sell call means obligation to sell, you said. I really forgot the last class thing. Is it possible to make it a right to sell, so that becomes put? Is it what happens?
Correct. Right to sell will become put option.
Okay.
That means we are buying a put there.
Okay. Here we are buying.
We are selling a call.
Okay. Right.
See, first of all, you don't have right. If I have to, if I want to have a right, I have to buy it.
Okay.
Like some advertisement used to come, right? So Bonville chocolate or something. You really have to earn it. In the same way, if you want the right, you have to buy it. Either call option or put option.
Okay.
Call option gives the right to buy. Put option gives the right to sell. But that right you have to buy. So whether you are buying a call option or put option, it is left to you. But in this case, what we are trying to do is, we are retaining one option, that is buying option 0.62, and we have sold the right to buy to someone else. So we are left with what? Obligation to sell. So someone else has the right to buy. If someone else has a right to buy, then what will be you having?
Obligation to sell.
So you are taking a risk. If that person comes, you need to be ready to sell. For that you get a premium. Here you have a right to buy, so someone else is taking a risk, therefore you are paying a premium. Okay. So in first case you are paying premium. On the either side, like 0.58 and 0.66 which you have sold, you will get a premium. So net premium is 0.6. So on the expiry date, prices can be anything which we do not know, right? It can go down to 0.44 or it can go up to 0.71. As of now we are here 0.60. The current New Zealand to American dollar is 0.60. In next 1 month it can go down or it can go up. In either cases, any one thing can happen. Either it can be 0.45 or 0.47 or it can be 0.71. Any one thing will happen. But I want to know how my decision will work in any of these cases. What is my maximum loss in either of these cases, or what is my maximum profit in either of these cases? What I have to evaluate. Okay. So let us first evaluate the one which I have bought. Right? What is the one I have bought at what price? What is the strike price? 0.62. That means what? I have a right to buy at 0.62, not an obligation to buy at 0.62. Correct? I have a right to buy at 0.62. I don't have an obligation to buy at 0.62. So if it is 0.45, that means in the market it is available at 0.45. You have a right to buy at 0.62. Will you buy? No. So I will come out 0. Nothing will happen. Premium will adjust at the end. Net premium will adjust. So as of now, you will just come out. At 0.47, come out. Till what you will do the same?
Till 61.
0.63.
Now 0.63. In the market it is available at 0.63. You have a right to buy at 0.62. 0.62. Will you buy it or not?
Buy it.
Yes, I will buy it. So what is the profits I make if I buy it?
0.01.
0.01 minus 0.62 into 2. You know why?
2 calls.
I have bought 2 calls. So I make $0.02 profits. If it is 0.65, I have a right to buy at 0.62. That means even in the market it is quoting at 0.65. I have a right to buy at 0.62. I will buy it. So 0.03 per contract I make profits. I have bought 2 contracts, right?
0.06.
Okay. 0.67 I make 0.05 profits into 2. 0.1, 0.69 I will make 0.07 into 2.14, like that, I will make profits here. Okay. Now we will get into sell. What one? 0.58 we will do in the first one. What does it mean? Can anyone explain me?
I have an obligation of selling
Selling at
at
0.58. Correct. Perfect. So you have given someone else a right to buy at 0.58 by keeping an obligation to sell at 0.58. Someone, if he comes and asks you, I am ready to buy at 0.58, you have to sell it. You have an obligation to sell. Let's say in the market it is trading at 0.45. Will that other person come and buy from you at 0.58?
No.
He will go to the market and buy. Right?
It's
So
not.
0. 0.47 will he come?
No.
0.49, 0.51, 53, 55, 57, he will not come. 59?
He'll come.
Yes, he will definitely come to you now. Why? Because he will go to the market, he
0.5.
will see the price is 0.59, immediately he will remember you. Oh, I have my counterparty who has to sell at 0.58. Even in the market it is 0.59, he will come to you. So you will make a loss now. Why? Because you have to sell at 0.58, which the worth is actually 0.59. So what is your loss? It is 0.58 minus 0.59. So only one contract, so one loss. Now definitely you will come in all these places. See, your losses will keep going up because you have now sold an option. Seller of an option will have a unlimited losses. Okay. Next case, 0.66. Sell. This is also you have sold. You have given someone else a right to buy at 0.66 by keeping an obligation to sell at 0.66. If it is 0.45, will that person come and buy from you? No. So this person will not come to you till 0.65. Correct?
Yes.
When it goes to 0.67, he will come to you. Because you have to sell him at 0.66. So that is his profits. Correct? Any questions? Sir? So let us sum our gross profits, then we will finally deduct that premium. Okay? So gross profits. So sum of all these three numbers is my gross profits. Okay? So we'll adjust premium to this. What is my premium? 2.02. So net profits. This plus this. Always we used to deduct, but in this case it is a positive number, right? Because we are getting 0.0 to net. Okay. So let me go to insert line graph. See the graph, it looks like. Right. So this is the reason it is called as butterfly. Because it's like a 2 weeks has come. Now this is okay, like what name we give is different, but see the graph, understand how banking industry or trading industry people continuously try to reduce their losses or increase the profits, come up with models to safeguard themselves, right? So what have we done in this process?
Because market is varying from 45 to 71. So equally, it is like if in case it is going up, so I am selling that time. So if in case it comes down, so I am buying it so that I can have more.
So what is the maximum loss you had in this entire process? What is the maximum negative number? Where do you see?
0.1.
Minus 0.01. See the volatility we have shown. From 0.45 to 0.70 we have taken, right? In spite of that, my maximum loss is only in these two places. In all these cases, it is a profits. In spite of fluctuations, let anything happen. I am hedged. Let anything happen. I am hedged. Now you understand what can companies do if they are exposed to risk. Infosys and other people that are having receivables. They know anything can happen. Currency can go up to come down. If they remain as it is, they are actually exposed to huge risk. But by doing this butterfly spread, maximum loss what they can have is minus 0.01. It is a part of business, but in most of the cases they are under profits. They are hedging.
Who gives the option butterfly spread? It is SEBI has been already said the rules are the purchaser can voluntarily, or it is just like buyer and seller set the rules.
Buyers and sellers. Different people have quoted. You have to identify this pattern and you have to enter into it. Okay? So we go to maybe ICC director.
So in that, like Infosys in this case, they themselves will be a seller or buyer in this case? Or?
Buyers and seller, both.
So they actually come into the options market and then they...
Correct. They have to come into derivatives market. Hedging means derivatives market. Are you getting? Other than netting, I will tell you, of the derivatives market what they can do. Infosys has to pay, let's say, $50 million to company X. Company X has to pay $30 million to Infosys. So what they can do? Netting. They have to pay 50, they have to receive 30. So net is how much? 20 million Infosys will pay. So to avoid currency transactions, they can do netting.
So this derivative market, that is for the currency, isn't it?
Now we are dealing with currency.
Currency.
But it can be
Equities.
Equities, it can be interest rate, anything. But the way it works is all same. You remove NSD to USD, you put Infosys prices, it then becomes SEBI and exchange has created a platform and allowed.
I see.
Like a government, like we'll construct a playground. Kids can go and play park. So they have provided an infrastructure.
I see.
Now they will not come and day to day fix the prices of the strike prices. It is buyers and sellers. There are hundreds and thousands of buyers come and stand in a buyer's queue, seller's queue. They have a very right to quote whatever price they want, whatever premium they want. Now your job is to identify this pattern and immediately encash. That is your skills.
This means that who in the international business finance department should have a derivative specialist.
It is compulsory. Accounting standard organization. Like every institute will have an accounting standards organization. Chartered Accountant Institutes. Now they have made it compulsory that any company, any receivable or payable, they have in foreign currency, has to hedge 80% minimum. They cannot remain unhedged. Remaining unhedged means what? You are speculating. See, you are having $100 million receivables. No, let us be very practical. In another 1 month, Infosys is having $100 million. Can they get exposed to this type of risk? When they sold their services, it was 0.60. Right? Current price is how much? Let us take an example of same sheet. I will copy and convert it to rupees so that it becomes more user friendly for you. Right? Rupee, when it comes, then you might be able to understand. Right? So here instead of 0.58, I will put 58 rupees per dollar, 62 rupees per dollar, 66 rupees per dollar. Okay, 7 rupees, 3 rupees, 1 rupee. Okay. So here it is 14 rupees. Here it is, sorry, here it is 7 rupees, here it is 1 rupee, here it is 6 rupees, minus 6 rupees. So 2 rupees is what the premium you pay for every dollar. Okay, so now let us say a dollar price can go from maximum 1 rupee per dollar you will have a loss. Infosys has a receivables of $1 million 1 month from now. When they sold, it was 60 rupees per dollar. When they sold the commodity, it was 60 rupees per dollar. So, $1 million is receivables, means in rupees it is how much? 60 million rupees. $1 million. Each dollar they have sold at 60 rupees. So they have to receive 60 million rupees. But 1 month from now, they actually receive $1 million. They have to convert into rupees. When they convert, it depends on the price. Let's say if it is 45 rupees, when they convert, how much it becomes? 45 million rupees. But they actually sold 60 million worth services, but they received 45 million. 15 million rupees is a loss for them. 15 million is 150 lakhs, 1.5 crores. Right? But if it goes to 71, they get 71 crores, 71 million. It's a profit for them. So let's say they don't do anything, they will take a chance of getting into these numbers. That means what? They are speculating. Is Infosys business to do speculation in currency markets? What is Infosys meant for?
Oh yeah, so that's the important question. Say their core business is software development. At the same time, they have to concentrate in some kind of the diversion.
Correct. This is in fact reduces the diversion. Otherwise, what happens? One time, let us say they get into 45. Entire top management has to sit next how to avoid this type of situation in the next coming years. They sold 60 million worth rupees, 60 million rupees, but they received 45 million rupees, not because your customer cheated, because it happened in the process of business, markets, uncontrollable factor. So everyone has to sit and work on it every time now. Instead, what government is suggesting, don't do this speculation business. We have created an infrastructure for you, exchange is there, just go and hedge. So that we are not saying that you will not have a loss at all. Don't have that misconception that entering into a derivatives will avoid your losses. No, it will reduce your loss. Avoiding a loss means what? Removing that loss concept itself in the market, it is not possible. When human beings are working in a business and it's a human built model, there will be a flaw, so there will be a loss. You can only reduce the risk, you cannot eliminate the risk.
See, I give another perspective.
Please.
See, the RBI is supposed to stabilize this price. So why I am telling that?
Okay.
Some kind of
There is nothing like a plug-in mechanism even for RBI. Right? It's like a body. You can ask doctor. It's very. BP has gone up. Everyone have understood that BP has gone up. Doctors will try their best to reduce the BP. They might be successful in reducing the BP also, but can they assure that there will be no side effects on the body? Economy is also like a human body. They will try to reduce inflation, currency prices will go up. They will try to reduce currency prices, then interest rates will go up. So there are so many factors, it's not that one, and all these are interrelated. If they start looking into one, others get separated. So people use the best of their knowledge, experience, try to play along with these numbers, plug in, plug out, maintain the healthy environment, economy, but still, as so many factors are there and all these factors are uncontrollable, right? So
it means that there is no chance of getting a fixed rate currency. Means buyer and seller, same term contracts.
Fixed rate currency, we have moved to flexible rate currency from fixed rate currency concept.
In advantage?
18th century, when we started the concept of currency, we started with fixed rate currency. 1880 was the first time every country came up with the currency concept. It's called as gold standard system. Okay. Every country defined how much gold they have. Okay. Based on your gold reserves, print the currency. You print rupees, you print dollars, you print pound. For the first time, they gave the names to the currencies. Because most of the countries at that point of time still were ruled by kings and queens. The official currency was their currencies. Gold coins, bronze coins. There was nothing like a official name of the currencies. So it depends on how much gold reserves you have, that much of number of currencies you can print. Okay? Let us say everyone prints one unit currency. 1 rupee note, $1 note, 1 Great Britain pound note. So if you have 5,000 ounces of gold, you can print 5,000 currencies, let us say. So each 1 rupee is equals to 1 ounce of gold. 1 ounce is approximately equal to some 18 grams or 18 points grams of gold. Okay. Now let's say they have 10,000 ounces of gold with them. So their dollar will be equals to $1 will be equal to. They also print 5,000 currencies, let us say, 5,000 currencies. Everyone prints 5,000 currencies. India has 5,000 ounces of gold, they printed 5,000 currencies. So each currency is worth how much? 1 rupee equals to 1 ounce. Now they also print $5,000, but they have 10,000 ounces of gold. So $1 equals to 2 ounces of gold. Now let's say they have 20,000 ounces of gold with them. So 1 pound equals to 4 ounces of gold. Okay. Therefore, $1 equals to 2 ounces of gold. 1 pound equals to 4 ounces of gold. Therefore, 1 pound equals to $2. Cross rates. This is how the exchange rate system was started in 1880. Countries like India had severe inflation. The imports started becoming more because of population. So when they have to pay out the imports, sometimes they started drawing some gold and giving it in the form of payables. So 5,000 ounces of gold, let's say, became 3,000 ounces of gold. Now what happens? You have 5,000 currencies already there in the market. So now 1 rupee equals to how much? It reduces from 1 ounce to now 0.7 ounce. Are you getting this? Are you understanding? So, like this, if the value keeps reducing, your government first of all will not have a confidence to print currencies. If you print another 5,000 currencies, now your 1 rupee will become like 0.45 ounce of gold. Correct? So this is how the situation was in 18th century. Late 1880s, nearing 19th century. Now if you go and ask, like our great generation, everyone used to tell, India used to work in annas. Even we had 1 paisa, we had 2 paisa. Why? Because government was forced to reduce the denomination and curtail the new currency printing. If they print bigger notes, then the ounce of gold is limited. It's left to you how many currencies you print. Are you understanding? So if you print so many currencies and distribute, 1 rupee will be equals to like 0.001 gram, which will have no value. That's what happened in 1991 when Manmohan Singh was finance minister. Indian rupee did not have any value. Most of you might have seen that situation, right? So every country started demanding either you pay in the form of gold or you pay in the form of dollars. We don't accept your rupees. So government, what happens is the growth rate curtails. If a government has to come up with a metro, if the government has to come up with a new factory for the workers, manufacturing plant, where is the money? They have to shell out gold. Problem with shelling out gold is your value of currency further comes down. Therefore, what did government do? Did not print currencies at all for so long time. People's salary will be like 1 rupee, 2 rupee. More than in the form of rupees, exchange used to have. You give me firewood, I will give you rice. I will give you rice, you give me cotton. Something like this. Right? But after a point of time, now what has happened? Everything standardized. Like flexible exchange rate system. Government can print number of currencies, but that depends on values. Now what is happening? Everything is in terms of rupees. Right? So
I have questions. Still I do not understand how, how will they print the notes? On what basis?
till 1971, it was strictly based on the gold reserves you had. How much gold reserves you have, only that many currencies you can print.
So where this gold reserve would have been maintained?
With RB.
The physical reserve they maintain, is it?
Physical reserve, obviously, physical reserve.
So if they want to increase it, you mean they will buy gold, is it?
They have to buy gold.
Okay.
What will they pay to buy gold?
Again rupee?
No, rupee is not, see, rupee value is dependent on gold.
Right.
So they have to use some other, they have to start selling rice, wheat, cotton, manufacture something, get receivables in dollars, buy gold or whatever you want, you can do.
So
it.
this reserve would have been maintained inside the country, or
Yes.
and there will be regulators to have a look at it. I mean, foreign regulators or something. I mean, how much gold is maintained?
Quality, the what do you call, the seal,
Okay.
all those things are there. Same quality, whatever carat they maintain. But 1971 onwards, we moved to flexible exchange rate system, where gold is not the only backup you can have. You can have in multiple foreign currencies also. Okay, so 4 major currencies were identified at that point of time: dollars, pounds, yen, euros. So now India also has backup in different currencies, not only in the form of gold. And every country accepted, because everyone started facing this crisis. It need not be 100% match up with the backup with the gold. Right? You can have 70-30 ratio. If you have 1,000 ounces of gold, you can put 10,000 currencies. Like so, this was the case. 1914 to 1944, 2 World War happened. World War I and World War II. Major countries were involved. They themselves, the major countries, I'm saying European and American countries themselves, shattered out. Germany could not come back to gold standards. Most of the European countries could not come back. America was the only country who still maintained in 1944 a gold backup system. They were confident. So they officially became a big boss to the entire world. That was the time. 1914 onwards, they became a major country. 1914, when World War started, England stepped back. Till then, they were giving credit to all the poor countries. In 1914, they wanted a lot of money, so they went back. US came front. They took the leadership of the world. Okay. So 1944, an agreement happened called as Bretton Woods Agreement. But by 1944 to 1970, most of the European countries recovered back from the war. 1940 to 1970, US was the country which was dominating other countries, which European countries did not like. So they, as and when they started growing 1940 to 1970, they came up with an objective that we have to launch a currency which is against the dollars. So 1970 onwards, they created a economic European Union. In 1991, they came up with the currency, like euro. So then war started. Petrol has to be sold in dollars, or petrol can be sold also in euro. All these big things started. So whoever started quoting that we can sell dollars in euros, those kings are no longer there today, including Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, or whoever it is. So whoever has agreed to sell petrol in only dollars, they are all sustained. So this is a world politics and linked to currency. So as on today, either among the academicians, among the traders, among the governments, there is no common view that how the currency has to be dealt. Till that comes up, we will be under flexible exchange rate system.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. See, if this much fluctuation exists, as I mentioned, if out there, it means country itself unstable. See, if you give an imaginary line, something like, if it is so much fluctuation, it means country under some kind of turmoil.
Correct, obviously.
So it means that government play key role to, if at all country is really export oriented, means they have obligation to maintain proper financial regulation.
Correct. So in spite of that, these are like external factors, right? So it will keep fluctuating. But as you said, any country's health depends on the foreign currency ratio also. How much reserves they have, how do they maintain inflation rate, right? So inflation is like the pulse, yes. If that is maintained, rest all will come into place.
So balance of trade is very important. I mean, import export.
Correct, correct. So government this time were claiming for the first time they have reached surplus. All these years we were into deficits. So in terms
of export, no.
In terms of the net amount, what we pay and what we receive.
But RBI government telling that export is dwindling. I mean, it is keep on decreasing. But there is a chance that foreign currency reserve will decrease.
So we may have to take out the reserves and start paying out sometimes. And what the lesson we learned from 1990 onwards is to maintain more reserves, because we should not get into again that mode of 1990 mode where our currency was not accepted. We did not have dollar reserves, so we have to sell gold. Not only sell gold, just enter into as many agreements they compel us to. We didn't have an option, like a poor farmer getting into zamindar, asking for a loan. Zamindar takes your land and everything. So the forced liberalizations, forced privatization, globalization happened to India. So 1991 onwards, major multinational companies started coming into India. One, it was not India's choice. We didn't have any option. Right? We had entered into an agreement in such a way. I mean, whether it happened for good or bad, that debate is happening for the last 20 years. There are equal number of pros and cons because of globalization, privatization and other stuff. Being a closed economy versus open economy, there was a great discussion. But how things shape up, right?
No, just consider scenario. See, if Indian export, we don't have any value-added goods. Consider manufactured goods. We don't say that like the Germans having so many value. Likewise, India's manufactured goods, we don't have such. Just in case, say software industry, for example, contributing around 100 to 160.
Service industry.
Service, sorry. 100 to 160 billion dollars. If at all this failed, means again there will be imbalance. No?
Correct, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
because we have not identified what is our core strength. I mean, we have developed this service industry over the period of time. But India, primarily, when we were in school days, we were always taught that India is an agricultural country. And mainly we depended on agricultural products. Over the period of time, India started importing what they were exporting earlier. One point of time, what they were exporting. Today we have reached a stage that we are importing all those things, including dal, and we might have seen recent price hikes and other things. 20 million quintal is what the average production happens in India. And on an average, 25 to 26 million quintal is the consumption. So there is always a gap of 6 million quintal, which no government has concentrated how to reduce this gap. They have, year after year, what is happening is they are importing. But that is not the solution. That is a quick fix. Average production is 20 million, average consumption is 25 million. So 5 million there is a gap and you import. This is a quick decision and lot of money is spent. But I don't know, definitely it's a big question. Someone has to concentrate again, go back to basics, agricultural, how to bridge this 5 million. When farmers are selling land, where will they grow? Or rain harvesting, or what is this? Bridging the rivers, joining the rivers, whatever reason. I mean, people are dying out of drought and no rain and other things. But we are not finding solution. Instead, we are becoming more and more like a startup country, service industry country.
In other words, we should have exceptional capacity to, arm the foreign, export, and then at some plan in advance that how we can plan our importing, food import. Like Japanese, they don't have any land to, protect the food. There must be some kind of, pre-planned scenario. Otherwise, this kind of, there will be shortfall.
In India, anything and everything at the end of the day will go and relate to politics. In other countries, every bodies, every committees will have an authority,
That's good.
autonomy.
That's a good point.
And in the top level, I mean lower level, citizen level corruption is very, very less in developed countries. Top level corruption exists, but common citizens are not affected. But in India, every small thing, right from school admission to college admission to job, getting a job to getting a license or starting up a business or your salary, everything finally goes and hooks to politics. Once you get elected, you can do anything in that. You can get into your business, you can get into others' business. Okay, that is how the situation is. So till the political system gets changed.
Yeah, that's a crucial point. It's a good insight. See, this is the problem. See, why crisis develops in India is that the processing system is not really, it's not autonomous. That's a good point.
See, in foreign countries, really, a minister at the state level doesn't get into small, like even the police or security level. But in India, you might have seen, right? Even the police is handled by politics, defense is handled by politics. Right? Where is autonomy? Government hospitals are not allowed to operate on its own. Right? Government schools are not operated to have its own way of behavior. So I don't know, like politicians doing other than doing their business, they are doing everything else.
In other words, if we globally expose means either we should standardize our entire system to that level, otherwise we should have closed economy. There is two options. We cannot be just like here or there.
Correct. One point of time we realized closed economy we cannot survive. No longer that option was closed out. Being a closed economy was closed out. So now we got exposed. Small scale industries started dying. Right? Government started coming and giving subsidies to small scale industries. After 10 years, 1991 to 2001, research papers started happening. Why are you giving subsidies to small scale industries? Let them also face the competition. If they are not having competitive position, let them die. There is one opinion. But the others say, government says, see, they are not actually exposed to this type of behavior. A foreign multinational company will just come and invest. Even sometimes they will run under loss. But the small scale industries will die before that. Right? So they came up with the acts, monopolistic, restrictive trade practices act, competition, like improving acts and all those things. To what extent it's the implementation as well.
So, even 92, even UK is exposed to, the severe currency speculation. One moment, government come under severe pressure to, this kind of, open market currency selling has to be stopped. And what I am telling that currency speculator also create a havoc to the financial system, and then even the country is stable, still they can play such a
See, recently last month you might have seen China devalued their currency. There is an organization called as IMF, right? International Monetary Fund. Any country who has to fluctuate their currency has to take the prior approval of the IMF. Sometimes we override that. Now, no one else liked the devaluation of Chinese currency. But what can you do is the next question. Will you make them non-member of IMF, which they are from last 60, 70 years? If you do that, China will start behaving in a very different politically. Right? So many other countries are dependent on China. Right? China's goods, low-cost goods and other things. They might increase their prices. So how to handle, this type of aggressive emerging markets is also a big question. So what I am trying to say is, in theory, IMF actually monitors the currency prices worldwide. They, based on the situation, they will allow you to appreciate or depreciate other than the flexible exchange rate system which happens in the market. They will jump in and say, till today it is 46 rupees, but tomorrow onwards we are making it 60 rupees. they can come up with, but plus or minus 10%. 45 rupees cannot become 60 rupees. Okay. So within this plus or minus, they will 10% they will meet. Okay. That is why IMF is there.
But the wealth of the nation it decides the value of the currency. Can we say like this? See, in
It's
other words,
old
the
Adam Smith's
the
theory.
natural resources and then value addition to the goods.
Correct, but over the period of time, the natural resources valuation has changed a lot. Right? There were so many products which were unavailable all these years. Biopharma. What people were knowing before 10-15 years. A new product came. Like then the plastics and other things changed the world. Barren land started growing into cities, is getting huge value. Right? Cities themselves are getting developed. Right? So you cannot value the natural resources as it is. Coal and other things. So Kapil Sibal type of people say still its value is zero because it's not sold. That also makes sense. Till you sell it is not a loss. But to what price we sell? What is the quality of that coal? 70% of our coal gets into wastage moving sense. Whoever buys 1 quintal of coal if they buy, straight away in that 70% coal is a waste. Only 30% of coal is a quality coal, usable coal. So to what auction we can give? So valuation itself is the biggest task.
In other words, during many process itself this problem occurs.
Correct. Right. So it's a coal, uranium. Every country has. But what is the quality of that? What is the effective usage of that? Based on the prices discussed.
In the same terms, presently US facing such a huge deficit, budget deficit, $15 trillion is and the cliff it is now. See, as natural resources, it's not possible to quantify the wealth of a nation. Means how they going to Chinese are building the currency is based on US capacity of its wealthiness quotient. Just in case US default means then the question now like
US
is like Akshay Patra people.
Gold reserves. At the end of the day, the question comes to gold reserves. It's not how many dollars they have printed, because the dollars also should have a backup. So what backup they might have is the strongest currencies, treasury bills they might have, like, or the gold reserves. See, I can say I have a $1 trillion American treasury bills. India can say, but India, US itself being a the most different country. Which treasury bill they can hold? Which other country's treasury bill they can hold? So at the end of the day,